from the League of Irish Credit Unions shows 1 in 4 parents they're putting themselves into debt to try to deal with rising back-to-school costs.
Joining us to discuss the results and realities of those costs are Jen Hogan, journalist for the Irish Times, and David Malone, he's the CEO of the Irish League of Credit Unions. You're both very welcome.
Hi, guys.
David, we'll start with you this morning. And we keep hearing about the benefits for parents. You were talking about free school lunches. We're talking about books, the price of books being covered. One would think that the cost of going back to school is going down. But you're seeing the opposite, or the survey results are showing the opposite.
We are. I think what we're seeing is that the back-to-school costs, the nature of them are changing. So they are changing. Absolutely. I think the government schemes in terms of free school lunches are very helpful, particularly for primary school. And we're also seeing the impact as well of other government support schemes like the free book scheme. But what's really happening is the way education is delivered in schools is now changing. So what's happened in this survey is shown that the back-to-school costs have changed, but not disappearing. So now what we're seeing is device costs are particularly relevant, particularly iPads, tablets, and also what's impacting as well is branded uniforms and branded schools clothing. That's what's pinching parents at this point.
It's going up.
It is. They're going up, yeah.
Jen, you've been talking about branded uniforms for, you know, your kids have had branded uniforms their entire lives. You've been talking about it for how long?
I have. That's what I was just saying. I think for the last decade, nearly a decade, I've been given out because in 2017, the Department of Education issued a circular which told schools that they were to move away from branded uniforms and towards generic uniforms. And that same circular references branded digital devices too, and make things more affordable for parents. And I went out to parents, actually, knowing I was coming on here today, speaking to them all year round about back-to-school costs. And the one thing, a bit like David said there, that keeps coming up is the crested uniforms, the really expensive crested uniforms, because you can't buy them then in your average supermarket. You only can get them in certain shops. They tend to cost more. Kids, those pesky kids keep growing, so they outgrow them very quickly. You can argue about quality or anything like that. And they lose them, they rip them. And you're not just talking one uniform in a lot of schools. You're talking the formal uniform, perhaps the skirt, the jumper, the shirt, the tie or the trousers and others, and school tracksuits.
This is what I don't get.
Everything being crested.
Kids aren't little business people anymore like they were for years going to school. It's like, let them have a tracksuit so that they can run around.
Absolutely.
But what... Can anyone explain to me why they have to have the two things?
Like, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. It just...
Someone's making money somewhere.
Well, it's because... Well, is it not that the schools are not being properly funded? That the schools are facing... Well, isn't there a situation where the school has an arrangement with the producer, the supplier, so the school is making a certain amount of money, and again, it's because the school isn't being properly funded. And it's the same situation as it did with the devices.
Yeah, that came really throughout in the survey itself. You know, particularly that it is the branded uniforms. It's the relationship with the local suppliers. But one school had a great idea in Meath where they had a pop-up shop of second-hand uniforms, and that worked beautifully there. And I think that's really, helpful. But one of our parents in our survey as well from Meath said that it cost them €300 for a branded PE kit. That was the sweat top,
and that's the more casual.
and the t-shirt.
But that's just it. It's the t-shirts, it's shorts, it's different parts of it. It's jackets, bottoms, all those different things. And again, they get ripped, they get lost, they're outgrown. And if you're having to have those two uniforms, even the shoes are different. You're talking maybe, obviously, your runners for your sportswear and your hard formal shoes to go with the uniform. All these things add up. And for parents who are really, really feeling the cost and the pinch, it's incredibly frustrating, especially when the circular has been issued by the department.
But it's really interesting, as you say, funding. Funding is at the core of all of this. And in relation to the 600 million, the overspend in the Department of Education that they've said to everyone else, well, now you're going to have to tighten your belts. We'd love to hear from you what's going on in your life. 0896 111 111. You found, though, David, people are people going to the credit union because they've gone into debt to try to fund this?
Absolutely. Well, I think this is one of the pieces, I think, around the survey. There's about 27% of people getting into debt with back-to-school costs. And really what's interesting is the average debt is about €430, but averages lie. So there's about 50% of people who have debt over €500 as a result of back-to-school costs. That's phenomenal. What's kind of worrying from the survey is there's about 1 in 5 people who are using buy now, pay later and credit cards to finance that. And they don't realise the fact that if you don't make the minimum repayment, the debt spirals, it snowballs. So look, credit union side, we're very much for financial education. And what we do with our members is want to sit down, put maybe savings budget plans in place with our members to help them to plan ahead for this. We're also there for very cost-effective loans as well. With great tips, though, from credit unions around the country. One is make an inventory, make a list of what you need for the next school term. Maybe get your child involved, empower them, give them the budget and allocate the budget and make those real choices. So we're very much about empowering people in the financial education space.
Right. And Jen, I suppose a lot of people are doing that. A lot of people are being faced with that reality of going, right, I'm going to have 2 next year. I'm going to have however number of them starting in September. I need to start planning like a year in advance.
They are. And I mean, even parents I was speaking to said they were cutting back on costs over the course of the summer, like going maybe without little treats for their kids or changing what they're doing during the day to try to allow for those costs coming up. I suppose there are some costs that are almost unavoidable. The brilliant swap shops and things like that, they're really helpful at looking at what you already have. But things like TY is often overlooked, transition year, which is fabulous, for a fabulous experience for lots of kids.
But the top reason people think costs are higher: school uniforms, branded items like your devices now, and school trips, which isn't just TY.
It's not just TY. There's the school trips during the years, the school tours, different things that they do, lots of which are highly educational and also fun, because, you know, fun is really important too. But I suppose, again, these costs mount up and sometimes some of the tours can be a little bit expensive. And even if we're going back to transition year, which does have, you know, the big school tour or school trip for lots of transition year students, it obviously depends on the school, but it's the everyday tours and the everyday trips and experiences that kids are having, the going into the different places to get those experiences, which are all make up a wonderful transition year experience for lots of kids, but it is a huge concern for parents, and it's probably one of the main things that they contact me about, asking questions about costs.
And parents, you don't want to be the parents that say no to your kid
and
all the other kids are going, and that's where the stress comes from. And definitely worth, like David was saying about the education part of it, do a bit of learning on it.
My trip to Amsterdam was highly educational.
I'm sure.
Transition year. Like, lads, really?
We'll have those photographs for you in the next hour.
Great fun. David Malone, CEO of the Irish League of Credit Unions, and Jen Hogan from the Irish Times, as always. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.